Yes, what is up everyone? Long time no see, and if you've been enjoying the content lately, and I don't know how you couldn't, because I know I've been enjoying making it for you guys. Also, I'm going to be dropping some FIFA 20 episodes very soon. Me and Mike K are plotting right now. If you have any ideas of what we should do, let us know in the comments. And then hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. But now let's get to the good stuff, previews and predictions. Or maybe I should call it fun facts and opinions this week, because there are so many ridiculously good matchups happening around the world this weekend. I'm going to have to whip through them with some quick fun facts and a little bit of opinion. And we're going to start with Chelsea versus Liverpool, who both lost in their first Champions League games of the season midweek, though since Liverpool lost to Napoli, which they did last season in the group stages too, only to go on to win the whole tournament if you guys remember. I'm pretty sure they remember, and I'm pretty sure they remind you of it anytime that they can. Then maybe losing to Napoli this past week was a good omen for them. While Ross Barkley, who pushed away everybody so he could take the penalty, well, he missed it, and it led to the Blues' defeat at Stamford Bridge 1-0 instead of a draw that it should have been. Well, he should never be allowed to take penalties again, especially since it didn't get saved. He skied it over the bar, Sergio Ramos style. Anyway, Liverpool are perfect through the first 5 games of the season, which has given them a remarkable 5-point lead at the top over Manchester City, but they've only gotten 1 clean sheet from those 5 games, so I expect Chelsea to score, and I expect the red-hot Tammy Abraham to be the man to do it for the Blues. However, Chelsea have conceded 11 goals in 5 games, the second worst in the whole league, while Liverpool have scored 15 goals, which is the second best in the whole league. And I've got snot running down my nose. So by my simple maths, is that what you guys say? You pluralize maths? I think Liverpool is going to win 3-1 unless N'Golo Kante returns from injury. Then Liverpool will only win 2-1 because Kante won't be game fit or sharp enough yet to protect the back four from every single dangerous situation like he always does, but he'll be back to being Superman again soon. So at least Chelsea fans have that. And now let's head to Italy for the first Milan derby of the season as AC Milan hosts Inter Milan. And for the sake of Italian calcio, I really want to say that Milan has a chance in this one because I really want Milan to be good again. But under the guidance of their new manager Antonio Conte, Inter looked very good, especially in the forming and identity part. It's clear the players know how they want to play and how they're expected to play, and they're going out and executing at a high level, except against Slavia Prague, which is in stark contrast to Milan, who, despite having a new manager as well and Marco Giampaolo, they still look like they're trying to figure out who their best 11 players are, or at least their best starting 11 players, which is never a good sign in terms of trying to create an identity as a group for themselves, but it's still pretty early in the season, so maybe we should give Giampaolo the benefit of the doubt, like a big, huge, giant benefit of the doubt, especially as Inter runs all over them as a better organized team this weekend, 2-0. And now we head to Spain for a huge clash at the top of the table in La Liga as league leaders Sevilla host, I don't know actually what to call them at the moment because they're not bad, but they're not good either. So let's just settle on former champions of the world, though they don't look like that at the moment, Real Madrid, who just got smoked by PSG's B team midweek 3-0 in the Champions League, while Sevilla are coming off a very professional 3-0 win over Qarabağ in the Europa League. So current form and momentum and confidence is definitely on Sevilla's side heading into this one. And also, and this has to be one of my favorite stories from the matchup, former Real Madrid manager Julen Lopetegui, who's now the manager of Sevilla, who lasted all of 4 months as Madrid's manager after getting fired from the Spanish national team days before the World Cup started. Do you guys remember this? Because he took the Madrid job without telling anybody, and that pissed off everybody. So they're like, what are you doing? You're out right before the World Cup. What an idiot. Well, you know he's going to want to win this one so bad because he got fired from Spain, and then 4 months later he got fired from Madrid. And after Keylor Navas got the best of Madrid this week playing for PSG, I think Lopetegui's going to get the best of Zidane in Madrid as well, so I'm going to say 3-2 to Sevilla. And now let's head to France for Lyon versus PSG because I like both of these teams. They have a lot of talent and they're fun to watch. However, my concern with Lyon this season in particular is inconsistency, which I guess was to be expected after they lost some very important players over the summer, like Ferland Mendy, Nabil Fekir, and Tanguy Ndombele. I think I said that right. Maybe for the first time ever. And they got a new manager in Silvinho, but still, they're way too good to drop points in their last 3 league games and currently sit in 8th. Way too good. So I don't hold out too much hope for them because after watching PSG's second team completely dismantle Real Madrid, and I already know that they're going to win the league. That's a foregone conclusion, but I think they can do some real damage in the Champions League, and I think it's because they finally made some smart signings, like Idrissa Gueye, Navas, Herrera, Sarabia, Icardi. These are excellent complementary signings to their superstars, and it makes the club super deep. So I'm thinking Champions League semifinals for sure this season at a minimum. They got a nice vibe about them too, and nice kits. Those kits I need to get 1 or 2 of them. Anyway, as for this game, I'll go 3-1 to PSG. And now we head to Germany, or we were going to head to Germany to talk some Eintracht Frankfurt versus Borussia Dortmund. But I'm not feeling Eintracht this season since they sent away all my favorite players on the team from last season. Jovic, Rebic, and Haller. And because they should have given up 8 goals to Arsenal at home midweek in the Europa League. Yeah, Arsenal! Instead, they only gave up 3 to lose 3-0 because Arsenal cannot finish in front of goal. Also, in this game in particular, Dortmund are just better. So I got Dortmund doing the business here 2-1. Which means let's head over to Holland instead for De Topper. PSV versus Ajax, because this is the big one. The matchup, even this early in the season, that could determine who wins the league and who doesn't. Because over the last 35 seasons in the Eredivisie, either PSV or Ajax has won the league in 30 of those seasons, which is incredible, 30 out of 35. And PSV have won 17 of those 30 to Ajax's 13. But Ajax are the reigning champions, and that needs to be respected. Both teams are tied on top of the table with identical records and are already in top form both in the league and in European competition. So it's hard to say who has the real advantage here. Ajax beat PSV in the Dutch Super Cup to start the season, but that game was in Amsterdam, and this one is in Eindhoven. And I'd like to think that that shouldn't make a difference for top teams, right? They should be able to play anywhere and in any situation and against any opponent and have success. But in this case, I believe it has to be factored in. PSV are unbeaten in their last 50 league games at home, which is what? And which included beating Ajax 3-0 twice during that run. So maybe there's just something in the water there that Ajax is allergic to. I don't know, but something is amiss when Ajax rolls into that stadium. So I'm going with 2-1 to PSV. And then I'm going to have these things peeled for LAFC versus Toronto FC in MLS, because it's LAFC manager Bob Bradley taking on his son and captain of Toronto FC, Michael Bradley, in the Bradley family derby. So will the son bow down to his dad, or will he try to prove that he's worthy of his love? LAFC is only 7 points away from setting the record for the most points in an MLS season, but given their recent form, they're winless in their last 4. We'll see if they can break that record with only 4 games left to go before the playoffs start. As for Toronto FC, they've had a resurgence as of late, going unbeaten in their last 7 to finally put themselves in a good position to make the playoffs after a pretty inconsistent first 2/3 of the season. But honestly, this game is going to come down to the future league MLS MVP Carlos Vela, who is definitely going to win the award this season. I don't care how well Joseph Martinez does for Atlanta United, even though he's set a record by scoring in 15 straight games right now. What? That guy's ridiculous. Or Zlatan, who can't even really get his team into the playoffs. Because if Vela is healthy, which apparently he is after sitting out for 2 games with an injury, LAFC are easily the best team in the league. When he's not in the team, they lose to Minnesota United at home and draw with Orlando. So whether you follow MLS or not, it's not a good look to not get results against those 2 teams. But since he should be in the starting 11, I'm going to say 3-1 to LAFC. And then finally, y entonces finalmente, let's head to Mexico for Pumas versus Cruz Azul in one of the many Mexico City derbies. Because we only have 8 games left of this Clausura season, and Pumas are in 9th. But only 2 points ahead of Cruz Azul, who are in 13th, and the top 8 make the playoffs. So this is a must-win game for both of these clubs. If either of them lose, it could really dash their hopes of making a run down the stretch. If they win, it could be the confidence boost they need to turn it on during the right time. And speaking of the right time, with Cruz Azul coming off winning the first ever Leagues Cup over Tigres, I think that's going to give them the swagger that they need to make the important plays this weekend and hold off the inconsistent Pumas, who could only get a 1-1 draw with their more hated Mexico City rivals Club America last week after being up a man for 75 minutes. How do they not take advantage of that? So they're not coming into this with as much confidence as I'm sure they would like, or I wouldn't have that much confidence. So I'm going to say 1-0 to Cruz Azul. And all right, that is it. That is all I got, except for this. I got to name some winners for some stickers. And from 2 weeks ago, for the people that got the Netherlands beating Germany 4-2, and I still don't know how any of you pulled that score out of your ass, those winners are 99.9% Sports Channel, Chris XG831, and Aaron Thomas. So congratulations, and be on the lookout for a note from me. And the 5 winners of last week for who correctly predicted how many goals Robert Lewandowski and Timo Werner would score in the Bayern RB Leipzig game, which was only won by Lewandowski, by the way, because Werner missed a ton of sitters, were Elio25, the Joshinator, Dimdies, Sebastian Zamat, and Daddy Kenyon. Way to go. For everyone that has gotten a correct score and not been chosen, I'm sorry. Or has never gotten a correct score because you're not a prediction god like myself, I'm not as sorry. But here's your chance for redemption. Pick the right score for Chelsea versus Liverpool, and if you get it exactly right, you'll be entered to win some of the coolest stickers on planet Earth, and I'll pick 5 winners. So good luck, and have a good or bad weekend for me. Later.